welcome you tune into Buy Now Sell Now with me Ankita Saxena, and with me is Shreyanti Singh, and this is a show where we get all your queries answered by our experts. But before we get started with all your questions, let's take stock of how the market is shaping up. Well, it's pretty much within previous sessions range, Shreyanti. In fact, Nifty is right now taking a breather. We are off the day's high, almost 42 points off the day's high, and Nifty Bank since yesterday has been consolidating, and it is pretty much below. It's actually below yesterday's close and pretty much within the previous session's range.
Well, absolutely. A very good morning to you, Ankita. You know, that just about sums it up, right? Nothing much to complain about, nothing to write home about at this point as far as the Nifty is concerned. And even for those sectors, when you take a look at some of the losers, you do have realty, FMCG, consumption, infra in that order. Those are your top sectoral losers at this point. On the flip side, you do have pharma that is quite resilient in trade at this point. That's the top sectoral gainer at this point. Metal, commodities, PSU banks. Those are the ones that are gaining at this point. Of course, you do have the likes of an IndusInd Bank up about 5% there, about Nestle India. Keep an eye on those earnings, 2% uptick coming in as far as Nestle India as well is concerned. And even a Grasim Industries, Dr. Reddy's Labs, Asian Paints, Tata Motors, these are some of your top gainers when it comes to stocks. On the flip side, you do have an HDFC Bank, Reliance, heavyweights like both of these that are lagging behind in trade, down anywhere between 0.5% to 0.4% thereabout. That's the kind of loss that you're seeing on both of those counters. When you take a look at some of the other counters as well, you do have HUL that reported its numbers, Tata Consumer as well. Both of those counters are down just about 2% downtick coming in for Tata Consumer, and HUL also down over 3% as we speak. Some of those IT counters as well lagging behind, not doing all that much. You do have HCL Tech that is lagging behind, 0.1% downtick coming in for that one. And like I mentioned, some of those banks, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, on the back foot. So that largely is the kind of picture that you have emerging as far as the sectors and some of those stocks are concerned. Lastly, when you take a look at the broader markets, of course, they are outperforming benchmarks as we speak. So largely, that's the kind of picture that we have, Ankita.
All right, a very mixed set coming in for today, but we'll wait and watch if the tides turn in the second half of the trading session. But for now, let's get started with your questions, and let's get on board our guests also. But before that, let me tell you that you can send in your questions on the number that's flashing on top of your screen. You can ping us, you can WhatsApp us with your queries, with your stocks, the buying price and the holding period for your stock, and we'll get them answered by our experts. So without further ado, let's get on board Kunal Prar, who's the Vice President Technical Research and Algo Choice Equity Broking, and we also have Sharmila Joshi joining us. Hi, good morning to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right, let's get started with the questions then for today. First question is coming in. This one's for Kunal is not here, Kunal Bothra is not here, but Kunal, you can take this question on behalf of Kunal Bothra. This is Satya Veni, is writing from Hyderabad. He's a long-term investor. He's purchased Tech Mahindra shares, 200 shares at a buying price of 1,600 and Infosys at a buying price of 1,800. Wants to know if he can exit or average, and if he wants to average in, then at what price should he average in?
Well, right now, Tech Mahindra is trading at 1,446. And viewer has in position somewhere around 1,800. So no doubt, stock is trading at it's a below level. But if stock fall up to the level of 1,390, then it would become a great buying opportunities, because stock has a strong support of 1,400 level at present level. So 1,400 would be like perfect buying for going for an average.
Alright, then that's a take coming in as far as Tech Mahindra then is concerned. Tell you what, the next query that we have is coming in from Simreen Soni, who's written to us. Is a long-term investor, wants to know about Zensar Tech. Sharmila, what do you make of this one? Because Simreen is looking for a fresh buy recommendation when it comes to this counter.
It looks reasonable at this price. Probably would not be my top pick within the mid-cap IT space, but given it's a decent company and valuations look reasonable, you can try and buy it on dips if that happens. That's what I would broadly suggest. Don't buy everything that you want to right away, but you can start buying this. To my mind, there is an upside from current levels.
All right, that's the word in Zensar Tech. But coming to you then, Kunal. This is Sanvi who's writing from Gurugram. She wants to know she's holding 45 shares of LIC India at a buying price of 902. Right now she's sitting at a loss. Should she hold it or should she sell it? And if she holds it, can she hold it for a period of 1 year?
Well, no doubt, buying price is at around 900, and right now stock is trading at 890. But the way stock has been trading over its 50 days moving average, and not only this, even positive divergence is there. So we may see some kind of upside momentum in the counter from the present level. So this is like best opportunities to go for average at present level. If we talk about our side, the momentum, then we can see somewhere around 910 as a first target. If stock breaks this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 1000. So yes, this is the perfect time to get into the stock for creating average.
Alright, then that's the take coming in as far as LIC then is concerned. The next one that we have, Sharmila, is coming in on Hindustan Copper. What do you make of this one? Because Jayesh from Mumbai is writing to us, holding on to 4,000 shares at a buy price of 299 rupees. Wants to know what you make of this particular counter.
It seems reasonable at this price. He can continue to hold.
Alright, then that's a whole recommendation coming in. I also wanted to know, Kunal, if you had anything to add there. Hindustan Copper, 4,000 shares, buy price is 299 rupees.
Well, right now stock is trading at 224, trading above its 50 bottom formation as well. So again, this is like a perfect level for creating average. So yes, definitely one can go for creating average. If you talk about upper side momentum, then 260 would be our first target, and afterwards, we may see somewhere around 300 rupees of momentum.
With that, it's time for a quick breather. You can keep sending in your questions. We'll take it on the other side of the break. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. Let's continue taking all of your stock related queries. The next one that we actually have is coming in from Smita Vikram China. She's writing to us from Bengaluru, wants to know about 50 shares of Balrampur Chini at a buy price of 559 rupees. What do you have in mind when it comes to this counter? Sharmila?
Is that for me?
Yes, Sharmila. That's for you.
Balrampur Chini.
That's correct.
According to me, valuations are a little expensive, and I'm not too much in favor of sugar as a sector. So I would really recommend an exit and an entry into some other stock or sector altogether.
All right, moving on then. I'll come to you, Kunal. This is Ashwin is writing from Mumbai. Wants a combo view on SBI for fresh buys. He wants the funda outlook for 5 to 10 years in mind, and also the technical levels to purchase it. So Kunal, you go first with the entry levels.
Well, we have seen a very good momentum in the SBI. It was trading at 675 during last month. Right now, trading at 814 level. So, good return that we have witnessed. But right now, this is not a perfect level to get into the stock for medium term to long term trading. If any fall is there up to the level of 775 to 750, now that would become a good buying opportunity for the counters.
I believe you're giving a view on SBI, right? I meant SBI cards.
Okay, SBI
cards.
card.
Yeah.
Right now, SBI card is trading at 919 level, and the way stock has been trading, we may see a further upside momentum. But the way stock has been trading, I think this is not the perfect level to get into the stock, because risk reward is not in favor of creating any long position. But yes, if any fall is there up to the level of 880, now that would become a good buying opportunities for the counter.
All right, moving on then, let's address the earnings for Nestle that has just come out. The Nestle earnings have just come out, and let's quickly take stock of how the numbers have panned out. We see a downtick of 5.2% coming in on the net profit front on a year-on-year basis. Now, what we were penciling in that it's likely to be down 8%, so there's a beat coming in on as far as the PAT is concerned. Let's look at the revenues. Revenue is up 4.5% on a year-on-year basis. We were expecting an uptick of 4.3%, so there's a beat coming on the revenue front as well. The EBITDA is up 2.9% at 1,388 crore rupees. We were expecting the EBITDA to be down at 1.8%. So again, on the EBITDA front also there's a beat coming in. As far as the EBITDA margin is concerned, we were expecting a downtick of 39 basis points on a year-on-year basis at 25.2%. That's where it has come in at. What we were penciling in at at ET now was a 24.1% of EBITDA margin. So on EBITDA margin as well, we are seeing a downtick coming in on EBITDA margin as well. So largely a beat coming in from the first cut is what we can see. It's a beat coming in on revenue, PAT and EBITDA for now. Also, the company has announced a final dividend of 10 rupees per share. So that's the first cut of the results coming out. We will get you more details as when it comes out. According to Suresh Narayanan, he said the price continues to remain stable for edible oils. Milk prices have cyclically firmed up. But that's the word coming in for Suresh Narayanan. For now, the first reading of the numbers, it's a beat. Let's pull up the chart for Nestle to see how the stock is reacting to the results. Nestle India currently, it's a sharp drop coming in. Clearly, the street has given it a thumbs down. The sharp drop right after the result has come down. We'll see how the stock moves and what the management has to say. So we'll come back on the management commentary for Nestle. But with that, let's resume with all the questions then. Coming back to Bainasala and the questions that you have sent us. This is Venkat Rao from Vishakhapatnam. He's a senior citizen who's holding REC 800 shares at a buying price of 549 rupees. He's sitting at a huge loss. So he wants to know at what price can he average in. Kunal, this one's for you.
Right now, REC is trading at 440 level, and the way stock has been trading, I think this is a perfect level to get into the stock for creating average. No doubt, position is at the upper level, but stock has already formed its bottom and trading above its 50 days moving average. Not only this is like a good dividend paying company as well. So double bonanza momentum will be there. Right now, one can get into the stock at 440. If we talk about upper side target, then first target comes at 530, and if stock breaks this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 560. There's so nothing to worry about this counter for medium to long term.
All right, Kunal, we will come back to you. Kunal, we are now actually joined by Priyam Tolia, who's a research analyst at FMCG Access Securities. Hi, Priyam, thank you so much for joining us. Priyam is here to weigh in on the results for Nestle. Priyam, first cut. Okay.
Tell you what, I think, Ankita, it's very interesting in terms of the commentary that you see, right? Before we take it forward with Priyam.
Yeah, Priyam is disconnected right now, so we'll quickly...
Well, absolutely, I just wanted to quickly bring focus in on the commentary coming in, because in terms of the commodity prices, they continue to be firm for coffee, and that is something that has been talked about. Cocoa prices as well as corrected. That is also the word coming in from the CMD of the company in terms of the cocoa prices, and they have in fact been in focus, especially after the tariffs were imposed. So this is key commentary coming in as far as edible oils are concerned. Milk prices have cyclically also firmed up. That is also something that the CMD, as you can see on your screens, has also talked about. In fact, it's quite interesting when you take a look at the numbers and the stock move at this point. It's quite interesting, the move that we're seeing there.
Yeah, absolutely, Shreyansi. I mean, it's a sharp drop because the results seem to be pretty decent. In fact, we see revenue and PAT are largely in line, and EBITDA we're getting a beat. And let's connect Priyam now. He's back on phone line. Hi, Priyam. Thank you so much for joining us. Priyam, as I can see, according to ET Now estimates, the revenue PAT seem to be in line with what we were penciling in. There's a beat coming in on EBITDA. What is your sense of the result? Give us your sense.
So see, from a top line perspective and on the bottom line perspective, there is a bit. And again, the margins front, there has been a bit surprise on that front. Despite despite the inflation in the cocoa, palm oil prices and coffee prices, so definitely they have done better in terms of the margins front. So overall, it's a inline number and a good number in terms of the Nestle.
Right, Priyam. It's actually a good set of number, and I was wondering, there's a sharp drop coming in the stock price right after the results come out. It is slowly picking up because EBITDA was absolutely a surprise because it's a beat coming in. But tell us, just now we also had the management of HUL also speak. they were talking about how about the demand outlook of how urban demand is still trying hard to pick up, whereas the rural demand remains robust. So for all the consumption companies going ahead, now that the inflation has moderated, the food prices have come down, do you see the volume growth finally pick up for the FMCG companies?
Sure, yeah. So if you see from the overall consumption space, so definitely the worst is behind, right? So why I'm saying that is because if you see the outlook on the monsoon, if you see the rural recovery, it continues to remain resilient. Apart from that, government push over the, in terms of the overall taxation. So what we believe is that the recovery is likely to come from here onwards. So the worst was behind for the sector.
Priyam, one more question on the input prices, as far as input prices are concerned, because one of the factors that we were watching out for was the cocoa and the coffee pricing. Now, Suresh Narayanan has also come out and said that the commodity prices continue to be firm for coffee, and cacao prices have corrected, but they continue to be high. Prices also continue to remain rather stable for edible oil. So I want to get a sense on the raw material prices, because that will decide how the pricing is going to be further.
Sure. So if you see from a raw material perspective, we have seen since last few days there is a decline in the palm oil prices from the all-time high. Then there is a cocoa prices, right? The company have taken a price hikes in the portfolio of Maggi coffee, right? If the raw material prices continues to remain, on a declining phase, as well as on a declining phase, then definitely the margins are likely to come up. Sure, yes, the coffee prices and the cocoa prices continue to remain at the all-time high. So we'll have to see how the managements react in terms of the further price hikes in the especially the coffee portfolio. So they have taken the price hikes in anticipation of the palm oil in their Maggi portfolio. So what we believe is that it will flow through in the coming quarters. So we believe that the margins are likely to remain, at the current level or slightly improvement.
Right. So absolutely, it is very important to watch out for the management's reaction coming in as far as cocoa prices are concerned. There's some commentary that we've already seen come out from the CMD of the company, but that's an update coming in as far as Nestle India numbers are concerned. Time for a very quick breather on the show. When we come back, we'll continue taking all of your stock-related queries, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. Well, time now to continue taking all of your stock-related queries. Let's get the last query that we can pack for you on this show then. And Sharmila, this one is coming in for you. Specifically from Achar, who's writing to us from Madurai, has mentioned that he's a big fan of yours. Wants to know your take coming in on Cochin Shipyard. Buy price is 1,600 rupees thereabout. For 74 shares, what do you make of this one?
First of all, thank you for the kind remarks. Coming to Cochin Shipyard, we've seen this entire sector which went up on the news of defense, made in India, etc. And then we've seen a sharp correction in a lot of the stocks. So I have only two things to say about this. One is that, I think this is a common thing for all these stocks. A lot of these stocks are good because their order books are very strong. But a lot of these orders are also very long gestation orders, as a result of which for the profitability to show in their balance sheet, in the bottom line, will take time. But because the momentum was in favor of this sector, a lot of these stocks went up too fast, to my mind. And now the correction has happened. Having said that, I think, this is a very strong sector. And if you're a patient, that's the second thing I want to say. That about this stock in particular, this is a good quality stock. If you have the patience, stay invested. It may take time to go up, but definitely I think that anybody with patience can look to buy or continue to hold what they have.
All right, that was the last talk for the show, and we'll join you tomorrow. But Kunal and Sharmila, thank you so much for joining us today and answering all the questions. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. Shreyansi and I will take a leave. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. Markets at noon up next.